This morning, we left Beppo to begin our 5 hours journey to Kyoto, the cultural capital of Japan. Home to over 2,000 temples and shrines, Kyoto is overflowing with attractions to visit. Join us as we spend 3 days exploring some of Kyoto's most beautiful and iconic attractions and see what are some you can add to your next Kyoto itinerary.
We are here at Bishamondo Temple. I guess it's the end of the autumn season already. A lot of the leaves has already fallen to the ground. Maybe a week earlier it would be nicer.
Inside the temple, there is a 150 years old cherry tree. Even though the cherry tree is only left with trunk and branches, but the pattern of the trunk are really very nice.
We will probably enjoy walking around here a while longer because it is still early. The night illumination for Kiyomizudera starts at 5:30 p.m.
Yes.
We will see you at Kiyomizudera.
See you!
So we are still at Bishamondo Temple.
Why?
Yeah, why? Because we actually found the iconic walkway. It's not as nice as what you see on Google because the leaves has already fallen, but the elevation makes it really grand, like a grand entrance to the temple, although it's not really the entrance. So we are now back at our hotel. There's a bus that goes directly to Kiyomizudera from Kyoto Station and costs about 230 yen. After you alight from the bus, you just need to walk about 15 minutes to get to Kiyomizudera. While we were there, it is really very crowded. I guess today is the last day of the autumn illumination, so there was a lot of people there. The illumination gives a different perspective to the Kiyomizudera. I've been Kiyomizudera twice, but seeing it illuminated at night and the night view of Kyoto is just very different.
Do you know that the light actually points to the west, where the heaven belongs? They will determine the west direction, and during the illumination, it will always point to the west. One fact about the temple is made of 137 trees without a single nail. They call the technique as the hell frame.
It can support quite a lot of people because it was really crowded just now. It's quite sturdy. This morning, we need to rush out of hotel to catch a bus here to Ruriko-in. This is one of the better autumn spots.
If you have gotten the day pass, the whole journey is not being covered. You will need to top up 170 yen.
The unique characteristic of this place is that it has a reflective table where it reflects the garden in front of it. It's also quite interesting where you can see all the people crouching down or kneeling down just to get that iconic shot. The admission is quite expensive, it's 2,000 yen, and you have to reserve. If not, you'll have to wait even longer to enter the temple. Another interesting thing about this temple is that it allows you to write some kind of a meditative poem.
You can write your wishes on the paper and you will leave the paper in front of the Buddha.
Like submitting your homework.
So next, we will be heading to the Philosopher Park.
And another temple which has the best autumn foliage. Compared to the cherry blossom season, the autumn Philosopher Park is not really as nice. There's not much fall foliage there to see.
Some facts about the Philosopher Park is actually a canal that provides additional water to Kyoto. And in the olden days, there's a famous philosopher. He will meditate while walking on the path to his school. So there comes the Philosopher Park.
The Eikando Temple, based on what we have read online, is the best autumn foliage temple and it didn't disappoint. We do have to pay 1,000 yen each to head into the temple, but the temple has a lot of exhibit as well as things to see. It's an interesting place to visit. And there's also a special pagoda. It's not the kind of pagoda where you can go in, but it's also a climb up to the pagoda, which has a very nice view of Kyoto, so that is also a plus.
The pagoda is pretty unique because the first layer of the pagoda is square and the second layer is round shape.
You can't really see the pagoda while we are walking towards it, but as you go to the temple gardens, that is where you can have a very nice view of the pagoda with the pond as well as the autumn foliage. After we left the temple, we took a bus back to the main shopping street of Kyoto, Teramachi shopping street as well as the Shinkyogoku shopping street. Both of them seems like an endless rows of shops. We have just bought a day pass for the bus. The one-day pass is about 700 yen. The bus ride within the city is about 230 yen per trip. So if you are sitting more than 4 times, then it is worth the amount. So this morning we will be heading to Arashiyama. It will take us about 45 minutes to reach there. And
we'll see you at the bamboo forest.
so our very first stop here at Arashiyama is the Togasu Bridge. So this is actually an iconic bridge here at Arashimaya because of the scenic views it has.
A lot of Japanese historical films use this bridge as a scene. The name is named by an emperor when he was having a boat party across the river. He mistaken that the moon is actually crossing the bridge.
We will be walking towards the Arashiyama forest. We will see you there. So we're just done visiting Arashimaya bamboo forest. I don't think there's anywhere that we have been to that come close to having like nice long bamboo on both sides.
It's my first time visiting the bamboo forest and the view and the scenery is stunning.
Now we will be sitting 2 buses to Kinkakuji. We will see you when we get there. Behind us is Kinkakuji. It's a very wonderful place to be at. It's slightly crowded, but there's plenty of opportunities to take good pictures while you're here. It's only 400 yen for the entrance ticket, and if you're in Kyoto, this is a must-visit spot. Do not miss this.
You're not allowed to go inside the pavilion, but they do tell you what is inside each level of the pavilion. Some history about this golden pavilion. It was actually a villa, and then after that, it was turned into a temple due to the owner's will.
We'll probably be heading for lunch after this, and we will be going to Tofukuji, so we'll see you.
See you!
We are here at Yodobashi. If you want to buy cheap food and grocery, do come to the basement 2 of Yodobashi, Kyoto. The thing is that after we are done shopping, it's 3:30 now, and our next location, Tofukuji, closes at 4 PM. I guess we're probably going to be just walking around Kyoto Station for the rest of the evening before heading back to our hotel. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Saionji.
We have to buy a drink, not because we want to drink, but because our hands are cold and this is a good thing to warm your hands on. It's very worth the 100 yen. And it's very hot. It's better than a heat pack.